Hello.
Hi.
We're here. Great. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night Cast. We're glad to be here with you, playing some more Kids on Brooms with you tonight. Super excited to pick up. We took a week off after the holiday last week, even though last time we said that we were going to be here the week after the holiday. It ended up being a bit much for a few of us, and we decided to take a week off. So we hope you enjoyed your holiday if you celebrate Thanksgiving at all, or any holidays around there. But we are a community of applied spiritual and therapeutic tabletop gamers who use and explore the benefits of tabletop gaming in our work. We engage in meaningful conversation, check in, check out questions with the games that we play, focusing on some more independent games and game designers. If this is your first time here, thanks for joining us. We're so glad to have you. If you're a returning viewer, we're so happy to have you back. We hope you continue to enjoy the stream here with us. If you have any questions, feel free to throw it in the chat there on Twitch. And you can always check past episodes get caught up. And follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and I feel like something else that I'm forgetting, perhaps. I think those are the main ones that we use. Follow us here on Twitch as well, of course, at Cast Gamers, CASTT Gamers. If you search those in any of your favorite socials, you'll probably find us pretty easily. So, with all of that out of the way, it's good to see everyone, my friends here playing Kids on Brooms with me here. I will turn things over to Tim for some announcements. What do you say, Tim? We missed you a couple weeks ago and had to do announcements all on our own, and I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, so I'm glad to have you back.
Yeah, how did that feel? That must have been awkward, huh?
Actually, I think, did we get
I got to do it. Yeah.
Laura to do it last time. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that. So our good friends, the Bodhana group, their Twitch channel, they have some upcoming programming. Tomorrow they have Coffee with Crimson at 2 p.m. That's on the 4th. It's an interview show hosted by Crimson Pleasure, featuring a wide array of people from gaming and mental health. So go check that out. That'll be fun. I was on their Twitch channel last Saturday playing Deadlands for their horror streaming night, which was really fun.
Tomorrow's coffee chat is with Hallie, who is one of our Gays of Our Live streamers.
It's nice to know.
Yes.
We have some upcoming things coming up. We have on the 10th and the 17th, we will be playing Kids on Brooms. They will be the last 2 shows before the winter break. We'll take a week or 2 off because of holidays. And then on the 12th, we will have a very, very holiday special for the Gays of Our Lives cast crew, where they will be playing a Wander Home one-shot. And I'm very interested in what this is going to be because everyone's a bunch of bears.
Everyone is a bear.
Yep.
We're all bears.
We be bears.
I can't.
The bears.
The bears.
That's right.
Bears. The bears.
Definitely tune in to see
bears.
what those bears are up to in Hearth. Is that how you say it? Haith. In the world of Haith of Wonder Home. That's all I have for now.
I forgot to say something earlier, but happy Hanukkah, Chappy Chanukah to anyone who's celebrating. We don't get a holiday break for Hanukkah because Hanukkah is quote unquote early this year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Menachem, for that as well. So let's get a quick recap. Before I get into the recap, also, as we've been doing each episode, just shout out to the designers of Kids on Brooms who made this awesome game for us to play here. Jonathan Gilmore, Doug Lewandowski, and Spencer Stark, the game designers. Check out the game. You can pick up a copy at renegadegamestudios.com/kidsonbrooms. Or if you're lucky enough to have a cool game store near you like me, you might be able to find it in person. If they carry Renegade Game Studio stuff, you might be able to ask them to order it for you as well. Always support your local game store wherever possible, please. I say. Yeah,
keep them alive, please, because I don't have one by me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's really
Tim,
sad.
I guess I'm gonna have to move down to New Jersey now and start a game store down there with you.
Please.
I've got a few actually. I'm very fortunate in the area that I live in here in Connecticut. There's a few different game stores. A lot of it tends to be Dungeons and Dragons, so it's hard to find some of the smaller indie games. But yeah, sometimes you can ask them and they will be able to special order it for you. So yes, Kids on Brooms, a really fun game that we've been enjoying playing. And last time on Kids on Brooms, we had picked up after some magic gone awry and a manuscript ritual on Halloween. Some of the magic had started to splinter off from their culling ritual. The captain showed up, seemed to have maybe stolen some of the magic, and some of the players, a number of different things happened at the end of the episode. We picked up last time a little bit after, a couple days after, where Lexa had a bad dream, almost a little too real of a dream. And Riley had made contact with an old friend, a spirit, who they have been in touch with, learning some of the magics of their secret societies, of divination, and learning how to speak with other spirits. They then went on a magic broom ride together out to their special little spot on an island off the shore a bit from New Haven. New Haven, Connecticut, being on the Long Island Sound, on the Long Island Sound. And much awkwardness ensued, I believe. From there, they had returned back to New Haven, met up with Jelly and Eliza, who did together. They had done a little bit of research on some of the revelations, I guess you could say, between the dream and talking with some trees as well, and found out a little bit more about Captain Kidd's rumored treasure, said to be buried on Charles Island, near this area here. And also found out a bit more about the importance that heirlooms and artifacts hold as well, it seems like, just in the world of magic in general. Jelly had run off to Scroll and Key, to do some continued late night research, and everybody else went back to their dorms. I believe, I don't remember who walked who, but Lexa and Riley.
Lexa walked Riley.
Riley.
Yes, okay. Lexa walked Riley back to their dorms, and we kind of left it there. So that is our recap from last time, if you missed it. And let's start with some check-ins and then get into our play.
Awesome. Let's do it. So we're going to start by asking each of us one question to get us about the game, and then we'll introduce ourselves, or we'll step into the magic circle with the name game. So the question today is, what are your thoughts, questions, or concerns going in about today's game? And so whoever goes first, pick the person who goes after you.
I guess I'll start as protocol. I guess I'm a little concerned. I missed a week, then we didn't play a week, and I might miss a week coming up. So I'm a little concerned. I'm gonna get left behind on the story a little bit here. So I guess that's my concern of the gameplay.
Watch this on 2x speed on YouTube.
Yep.
It was a big question last time. Where is Calvin?
Where is Calvin?
And
I
Lashes.
know where Calvin is.
And Lashes.
And Roberts.
Things are complicated. I'm gonna popcorn it over to Menachem.
Okay, what questions? I've had a touch of the flu all week. Took a COVID test. It's not COVID. So I just haven't done a lot, and I've been taking it easy and resting. So I'm kind of like realizing I got to the game like, oh, I didn't really think much about any of this, and what I'm going to do. So I'm just going in really, really playing to find out what's going to happen tonight. Because I like to try and be a little prepared with ideas for what my character is going to do usually. Yeah. So that's it. I'll pass it to Lara.
Oh, what are my thoughts, questions, concerns? I am looking forward to playing tonight. I'm glad we took the break. It was holiday time to rest, but I do miss seeing you guys when we miss a week. So I'm looking forward to seeing where has Calvin been. Like, I had enough spotlight last week. Let's have someone else have the spotlight this week. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it and wrapping up my work week with some good fun with y'all. And I'm going to pop it over to Neil.
I don't really have any concerns. No specific thoughts. I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen today. And that can be the fun. And it's great when we've got a great leader like Dustin. So I'm sure he's got a lot of ideas. So that's going to be fun. I guess my only question really is what's going to happen. That's pretty much it for me. I don't really have much. No concerns, just hoping to have fun. So I will pop it to Kayla.
Okay. I am hoping I make it through this stream. I have been sick all week and enjoying sounding like I have smoked a gazillion cigarettes. It's a good time. But we'll see. I've been pretty fatigued all week, so we'll see how it goes. Might be a short stream tonight. That is my concern, and I think that leaves Dustin.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Kayla and Menachem as well. That I got a booster shot yesterday morning for COVID, and I was out yesterday or last night, and this morning I was feeling a little better and then worse. So yeah, I'm not sure how long I'll make it through as well. I think the Tylenol is doing its thing and I'm feeling great right now, but who knows an hour from now. I'm glad, Tennille, that you consider me a great leader. My concern also is like, I feel like I don't have enough prepared for tonight, which means I'm probably okay because I tend to over prepare things, because I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this to get to this, and then we spend the whole time in a pizza shop or something.
For 2 sessions.
We haven't done that.
Okay,
ongoing
that was we had no GM then, and we stayed in the pizza.
I mean, we
shop
did
for
still
2.5
spend half a
days,
session
so.
in a Shake Shack, right? In this game, I
That was
believe.
Calvin's fault.
We went to like 3 different places in that session.
Yeah,
It was
We
okay.
yeah. So I have a few things, and maybe we'll just be doing a lot of playing to find out. I'm curious, and I hope that y'all will help me continue to drive the story a little bit here. I have the utmost confidence in everybody here as players, so I think we'll be all right. We'll have some fun. I don't have too many twists planned this time to mess with players, unfortunately, or fortunately.
You always find a way to mess with us, even when you're not the GM.
Yeah, I love that character drama and just changing things up a little bit. So
yeah. So now we prepare to enter the magic circle of play, that space around the table or the Zoom screen or the Twitch screen, where the rules of daily living kind of fade into the background and new rules take place. And to do this, to step in, we will first say our player names, and then we'll temporarily shed our player names and take on our character names. And we'll say those names. And each time the rest of the group will welcome us by the name we say. So maybe we'll go in the same order and do that.
Well, hi, I'm Tim.
Hey, Tim.
Hey, Tim.
And I play Calvin.
Hey,
So,
Calvin.
Where have you been?
Hi, Calvin.
My name is Menachem.
Hello, Menachem.
Hello,
Hi,
Menachem.
Hey,
Menachem.
Menachem.
And I am Jelly.
Hey, Jelly.
Hey, Jill.
Jelly.
Hi, Jelly.
Hello, Tristan.
Back to
I'm
that.
Lara.
Evening.
Hi, Lara.
Hey, Lara.
Hey, Lara.
And I am Riley.
Hey,
Riley.
Hey,
Riley.
Hey,
bestie.
Riley.
I am Tennille.
Hey,
Hello.
Tennille.
Hey, Tennille.
And I play Eliza Goldenflower.
Ah, yes, the
Hello,
golden
Eliza.
flower.
Eliza.
Hi, Eliza.
I'm Kayla,
Hey, Kayla.
Hey,
Hi,
Kayla.
Kayla.
and I play Lexa.
Hey, Lexa.
Lexa, hello.
Good evening,
Hey,
Lexa.
Hey, Lexa. Where are my
We-
notebooks?
We need to talk, Alexa. Alexa.
And I am Dustin.
Hello, Dustin.
Hello,
Hello,
Hey,
Dustin.
Dustin.
I will be your game master tonight.
Hello, Game
Game
Master.
Game Master.
Take it
Hello,
easy
Game
on us.
Master.
And yeah, with that, let's jump into our game tonight. I don't really have a starting point per se, like we've had in the past. Calvin, I know you were out last session, so we could start something with you. I do want to pick up on Thursday now. We had played Wednesday, the kind of played through things on Wednesday, and we left it kind of picking up for Thursday. Yeah, I don't know if anybody has any other ideas of where they wanted to go or start with. We will be working towards your meeting with the societies for Thursday night as required by the societies. Everyone must meet on Thursdays and Sunday nights. And Lexa, you are aware that there is a divination ritual being planned for tonight at Skull and Bones. So you kind of have to wear your formal, or you know that you have to be prepared for that, and your kind of formal outfits for ritual.
No, that's
I'll let you
That's-
decide how about
that's
like,
those
I'll just-
manuscript people.
Digging you a hole. I have an idea for opening scene. Since we never got to do our normal dinner with Lexa and Jelly and Calvin, why don't we do like a breakfast or lunch with everyone? What do we think of that? Yeah.
After history of magic.
Yeah.
Is it history of magic? No.
History of Magic's on Wednesdays.
Oh, it's magical theory for some of us, at least me.
Yeah. But you could have it before.
Yeah,
I was thinking that I don't know if it's possible for you guys to get a game of, what is it, dragons?
Dungeons, right?
Yeah, because I know we haven't done that before. I don't know.
But we
where
can
that would
always
be.
throw that in another time too.
I had
That's
forgotten
true,
about
too.
that a bit. Yeah, we'll have to get that in for sure at some point.
Dungeons and Quagmires.
Right. Yes.
We still haven't picked that. We still haven't picked the time.
It sounds about appropriate for
Like
that,
real life?
It's like a
Like real
game.
life.
Let's make it not make it real, so real.
I could do every other Saturdays, but not the fourth Saturday of the month, and we have to start at 12.
We can't play when Lexa's got a rugby game because we both got to be at the rugby game.
Yep. Yep.
This is a fantasy role
Yeah,
playing
this is a fantasy
game.
world. We're gonna get rid of all of that.
We can find a time we all agree upon.
There's
Real
a
easy.
time we have a schedule. We can put a time on the schedule. Yeah.
Yep.
I
Let's-
love it.
let's-
It's just the two of us playing this game.
I thought it was like it's like a secret type of
It's
game,
supposed to
like
be
in a-
secret. Yeah.
Yeah, in a secret room.
Yeah,
I think
if breakfast works, let's do breakfast.
I think it would be pretty easy to we kind of established it a little bit last time. that the like freshman dorms, like it's all in one place. So I imagine there'd be like a dining hall that everyone could meet up for breakfast or something like that pretty easily, right?
Yeah. Is that something we would do? I don't know if it's like if this is something, since we haven't done it yet, is this something that's more personal for us, or is this something that we just meet somewhere and have a meal together? Lexa, Jelly, and Calvin.
It's usually Monday night dinner,
Yeah.
but I think we were all exhausted on Monday. I mean, our characters.
There's no bleed here. Okay. What?
One of those meals, we'll have a meal together.
Butt
It'll
crack
either
of
be-
dawn. Butt crack of dawn meal.
It's brunch. Yeah.
So yeah, let's do breakfast. So would this be Calvin, Lexa, Jelly? Would you be joining for breakfast also?
Because Lexa's going to drag me along.
Okay. Like, hey, get over here. So yeah, so let's do that. Let's pick up there for, breakfast in the dining hall.
It is nice to get together. What do
I
you
know
mean?
it's weird for me to ask, but where have you been?
I wasn't anywhere. There's nothing to see here.
Wrong game.
Persuasion check.
You're
Somebody's
like,
been
I'm
watching.
gonna do the spell of truth. The spell of truth on him.
I will cast Zone of Truth. Yeah.
All the time.
There's an interesting story to tell about a turn of events that it was not a. Yes. And more. Oh, Jelly, how are you? It seems to be, I haven't seen you in a while.
He's deflecting.
Oh, so, okay.
So what do we know about Lashes as your best friends already?
Lashes was someone I was in love with before this game in high school. Lashes is also someone that technically Jelly was supposed to have an arranged marriage with.
Right.
Brain
working, coming back,
Yeah.
remembering some backstory.
Yeah. So I tried to help Lashes get out of it by trying to create a potion that backfired and turned Lashes into a full-on raccoon, and was stuck that way until recently.
So little backstory, Tristan and Lashes were set up as an arranged marriage.
Yes.
But we knew Lashes and Calvin already were in love, and neither one of us wanted to do that for that reason or an arranged marriage. At the same time that we refused, this Lashes got turned to raccoon and I died.
Yeah. So it was pretty
Mysteriously.
traumatic for Calvin. Yeah, we were
I'm
convinced.
still not sure who, we're still not convinced that isn't true.
Yeah, that is true. So yeah, that's backstory wise where we are.
So Lashes, how is she?
Well, we haven't actually seen each other since that night in with the portal.
So what have you been doing all this time?
So on Tuesdays, I go out to look for Lashes until yes, but then I unfound her. So I went to go look for her again, and I could not find her. I had a talk with Eliza. It was interesting. Um, well, Eliza, Eliza is very smart. Yes, it is true.
That would be a reason for her to break up with him right there. Forget anything else. That right there.
Just
Good
don't
thing
ever
she's
tell.
not there.
Good thing neither one of us is there.
Don't ever tell her that. So she had figured there was something interesting going on with us, as in me and Lashes. Well, she said it's okay if I date her and Lashes at the same time.
Okay, so what's wrong?
I don't know. It just feels awkward for me.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. But yeah,
I wasn't expecting any of this to play out like this.
do you love both of them?
I do.
Cool.
It's just I wasn't expecting Lashes to be Lashes again.
That's true. But look, I learned life is short and precarious and could throw wastelands at you. Don't waste your time, buddy.
So I spilled the beans. Everything I just said. It's your turn to spill beans.
She did.
To who? Oh,
The Elms.
what does that mean? Is that strange? In Can you tell my future?
The book.
Why? There's nothing to see here. You can fly now too.
Captain Kidd? Oh, oh, the dude that stole the magic. The captain. Roberts called him the captain. No, no, Roberts was seen. Riley saw Roberts talking to this guy and said, "Do you have any more orders for me, sir?" He did tell me he was the captain, yes. Wait, the ship was called Elm's Revenge.
We're supposed to be honest about stealing blood and categorizing it and
I die for a year, 7 years, whatever, and you guys go and get yourself in fucked up trouble. I mean, I guess when you saw what happened if you try and resist the families.
well, they tried to kill you, or maybe did. I don't know.
What if my dad rescued me somehow? But isn't your dad visiting?
Wait, what? My parents aren't coming, right? Good.
Careful what you say in front of the GM.
Next time you want to say something like that, earmuffs, GM.
I don't like this. In jelly?
What?
Is anything new? What is the up? Are you sure?
What's up?
The ceiling.
Trying to find out about the necklace of Solomon.
We keep saying manuscript. I think I'm making everybody else do this now. I just keep saying it every time.
I don't know if I found out anything. I don't know if I get to invent that. It's not that kind of game.
Does he get to roll for it?
What were you looking for? What were you trying to decipher? I think when we left it off that you had asked the books for help.
Right.
And they told you antiques or heirlooms and reminded you of Scroll and Key and all of the items that they keep.
So I was going to go to Scroll and Key and research our artifacts there, see if we had information in the library about Solomon's necklace. And I also, Calvin, you got any family heirlooms or anything on you? Special objects? Is it glowing?
What do you have, Calvin? Do you have any like
The necklace.
what is the necklace, Calvin? Or like what is Calvin
It's a
keep?
necklace that I wear around my wrist like a bracelet
Mhm.
because I'm Calvin. But it's a bunch of like there's one gemstone on it and the rest are like the stones are made of like a bedrock, like something like a black stone.
Is it like an old family heirloom? Has it been
Yeah,
passed
it's
down?
something that was given to me by my grandfather.
Okay.
Well, I always keep it on me.
Yeah, it's got like this kind of warmth to it. You would have noticed this since
Okay.
it's on your wrist.
Artifacts are holding some of the magic that has been, the rest of it was sucked away, but other artifacts around here are also holding some of the magic that was not directed to the wellspring.
So I have a magic bracelet.
It has magic in it. Don't use it unless, my guess it's like a battery. Right? I drew magic off the bloodstone when I needed to get out of that room. I couldn't
So
cast that magic of my own.
if I am in trouble, I can draw from it.
If you can't draw magic from elsewhere because the wellspring is dry, yeah, that's your reserve.
What happens if I've drained this?
Then it has no magic left. Probably.
Yeah, because before he put down that statue that had absorbed a lot of the magic. And so I'll say this, Jelly, with your research at Scroll and Key, they would know about this. They would know about different items having magical properties or being able to store magic in some ways. And there seems to be something that some items are able to hold more than other items. It's kind of unclear exactly, but the older and like the more kind of value they're given, I guess, somebody said it's important for some reason, right? The more likely it is to hold some sort of item. And Scroll and Key has all kinds of items, many cabinets, glass cabinets, chest of drawers with different things in them as well. Some of them are just from different places, and you would know from what you've learned from the Wasteland and actually in our last game that it seems like some portal magic and some traveling to different places, especially to another dimension, as you have been to. Part of the reason you weren't able to get back from that other dimension is you had nothing like that tied you to this dimension when you left, right? You didn't have anything that was attuned to kind of anchor you so that you would have a way back. So knowing all of that, you would know the importance that items can hold if they're attuned or anchored or have some sort of value to them in some ways. It seems like some older items, yeah, and Scroll and Key has recovered a number of these. Some of them have magical properties and some of them do not. They're just kind of anchors to help them. They want to transport halfway across the world and open up a portal someplace. They need to have a place that they're aiming for, basically, and some of these items help with that.
Also, he talks to inanimate objects.
Which I think we talked about last time. We were going to have a conversation off screen about
We need to do that.
we were going to rule that exactly, but we haven't yet. So
Did I learn anything about the Solomon's necklace from our archives or from the objects?
let me check my notes on that again real quick. You would have learned that, and I can't remember if you learned this while researching, if we said it, but it is a piece of jewelry said to be handed down along a line of Jewish mystics from generations to generations. So whether it's been used in magic or not, you're not quite sure. Any notes you're able to find about it at Scroll and Key, they've never actually seen it, so they haven't been able to study it. But I would say that there are notes about different items that they're interested in, I guess. And this, we'll say that this is one of them, because they're not sure. Different things that have been rumored in history that have been lost to time or history throughout the years that nobody's kind of then seen. They're always interested in trying to find or recover some of these important artifacts.
Since the Western magical tradition stole everything from Kabbalah, I think my next step is to research the Western magical tradition, what they have to say about it. They love Solomon in the Western magical tradition. So they might have something there. You know, Golden Dawn and Crowley and those guys.
You would know more. I think Menachem, you as a player would know more. And Scott created this item, so I don't have a lot of set ideas per se on it. I'm happy to allow you to rule on it, because you would know more about some of these things than I would also, I think, just as a person. So
but you have to figure, but you're the one who knows how it fits in plot wise.
Yes, and I'll figure that out.
Okay.
Which I honestly I haven't quite yet. So
well, I can't talk. Jelly doesn't talk, break the fourth wall.
Calvin is gonna look at Jelly and say, what else can I do with it?
All I know so far is that it's holding magic, like magic energy.
And what happens if we get more of these?
You'll have, yes, Lexa?
What do you mean?
No, he's acting like Calvin. Oh, same thing. Calvin, look, there's not as much magic energy on campus as there should have been, because the magic was siphoned away by the captain. Some of our objects are holding magical energy that we otherwise might not have. Don't go wasting it.
Put it back in the pocket. Heard.
Yes.
Calvin like reaches into his jacket and puts it in a pocket. Well, this was all interesting.
Your brain is addled.
I don't really have a good plan for this. I knew how to look for a raccoon. I don't know how to look for a grown woman.
Maybe she's in the student directory.
As Lashes?
Or her legal name. We would, I assume.
Yeah. We're gonna say her legal name is Samantha.
If she's a student here.
Yeah, you don't so this is the thing that's confusing to you, I think, Calvin, is like, you don't know if she's actually a student here or not, because she came with you as your familiar and then she disappeared.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm going to say that maybe you had, I don't know if you met with Lashes after that at some point to have this conversation with Eliza as well about the dating and everything. But you would have learned that when you came to Yale, she found help to transform back, basically from Wolf's Head. They had spotted her pretty quickly and been like, because they saw the magic within her, and were like, hey, come with us, and just scooped up the raccoon basically, and brought them to their society and helped her transform back into a person, basically, to which she had been stuck for quite a while. So she would have explained that to you. That's how.
Okay.
But you don't know if she's actually a student here because she never applied to Yale, right? I mean, she was a raccoon. So
We had these magic machines on us. Okay, I'm gonna look her up.
yeah, you don't know if she has a cell phone because like raccoons don't carry cell phones. Like,
Don't
Is she
like
in the
to use
student
these
directory?
things. Can't we use the Facebook?
I rationalize that Tristan has learned a little bit how to use technology because of all the research I've done. So I'm just gonna look her up on the student listings.
Yeah.
I was thinking something similar.
No, I'm okay.
Eliza's studying
we're
at
gonna
this time.
let's
Apparently.
That sounds
Yes.
accurate.
We're giving you an opportunity though to come into the role play if you want.
let's actually pivot because I got a message from them of what they're going to be doing. So
Okay.
let's wrap this up for breakfast. We'll say that you have to get ready to head to class, and trying to perhaps from here try and do a little research. Jelly, you're not able to find Lashes in the student directory or anything. So as far as you know, she is not a student.
Just to clarify, what day of the week is it?
Thursday.
Thursday.
I have a magical theory. See you guys later. Parkour away.
Same here.
Eliza actually has a chemistry class in the morning, but there'd still be time in the morning.
Mhm.
So after her chemistry class, she meets up with Riley to kind of like review notes and stuff just before our charm class.
Mm-hmm. Which is interesting because Riley's thinking about dropping that class. So we're going to have that conversation.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. We had talked about that last time.
That reminds me, Kayla, when is the occult studies class? Hey, look at that.
Oh, wow.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Oh,
The
man.
exact same time.
That's
fine.
perfect.
Okay.
All right. So,
So
we're
yes,
meeting
let's
up to
jump over
study.
to Eliza and Riley in a quick study session before their charms class. So this will be in the like afternoon around lunch or something, maybe.
Right. Or earlier afternoon before the class. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So, I imagine us like at the kind of like a little courtyard, like just not far from where the actual class is,
Mhm.
so that we can kind of like relax and enjoy ourselves. Eliza has Churro, her chipmunk, on her shoulder, and she's got her lunch and her books and stuff out, and she's actually going to take out her pocket knife and like cut a nut for Churro, and like give it to to our little chipmunk, who just kind of like has a little hands just like nibbling on it and just enjoying it. And yeah, so she'll probably be there before Riley shows up, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Riley's gonna show up with her bag and is like, and sits down, doesn't pull anything out because there's nothing to set for. But do you still have the pocket knife in your hand? Like, did you even notice like it glowing?
I'm actually not, I didn't notice because I was more focused on making sure things are organized, and then also making sure that my little chipmunk is happy. I feel like I never get scenes with churro in it, so I'm like, I'm bringing churro in this scene.
Okay. Hey Eliza, hey churro, is your knife is glowing?
Wait, what?
Look at your knife.
Oh my goodness, it is glowing. That's different. I don't remember it glowing before. This was my aunt's pocket knife.
Didn't we just establish last time?
She hasn't seen it.
Okay.
I hadn't seen it then.
It was in her backpack or in her pocket, but she had never actually looked at it.
Maybe that has something to do with all the other glowing stuff we've seen.
Oh, what other stuff?
Like
I'm trying to remember.
There was, well, I think we talked about last time the magic got sucked up into the sword that the captain had. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the captain's necklace had a
And the
glow
necklace,
to it.
too.
The red and gold necklace, also the falcon statue he had put down started to glow brighter. You would have seen that.
And Riley would have only known that from Eliza saying it when we were researching.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The glowing. Huh. That's interesting. It seems to, I mean, that is kind of old. This is a pretty old pocket knife. It's just been in the family for generations. Wow. Yeah. I'm going to have to take a closer look at this at some point. So, how have you been doing? I haven't, I feel like we've been so busy with
passing by each other. I mean, we live together.
Yeah.
Very, very busy. Some things are weird.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah. So at Book and Snake, we've been learning how to talk to spirits, and
oh, that's cool.
I mean, I told you when we did research last night, there was a spirit that showed me the notebook where we got the information about Captain Kidd, but
right, yeah,
there's some weird, like I said, I tried to figure out who they are, and they just drew a picture of Lexa's book. Remember the book she used to carry all the time?
Book. Was it a book that they were like trying to keep hidden or something? I don't know that I actually saw it like that much.
That book. It was the, yeah.
Huh. I think it has something to do with like their family or something.
Right. All of them are so secretive about their family. It's a thing.
Right. Yeah. It's a thing apparently. Which, I mean, it seems like a little less so, like since we've graduated a little bit.
At
least, yeah. At least
Lexa
I don't feel like
a little bit about her dad, at least.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Calvin, I mean, of course he used to make fun of me all the time, but he doesn't make fun of me because of that anymore. So yeah. It looks like you and Lexa are getting kind of close.
What do you? I don't know what you're talking about.
Really? You don't? You have no idea?
I don't. Okay, maybe, but I no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, now that you brought that up, so I'm actually I'm going to class today to drop off. I'm dropping off the charms paperwork to drop out of that class.
Oh.
After what happened at that party, I want nothing to do with charms right now. I need a break from that.
Oh. Well,
but
today's the last day to do it. So.
I know, it's good timing, right? But I kind of like, I want to get more into what I'm doing with Book and Snake. So I want to go to occult studies, but I know Lex is taking that class and I don't want her to think I'm like stalking her. You think she's going to think I'm stalking her?
I could put a charm smell on you so that you look like a completely different student.
I want nothing to do with charm magic right now. that party was
That also went really well for Calvin when he tried to do that for Lashes.
Right. Yeah. The party was intense. I haven't heard anything from Roberts in quite some time. I don't know.
I'm telling you, that guy is I don't want to say he's bad, but I want to say he's shady. Like,
yeah, I know you were really suspicious of him, and I don't know. I hope that he's trying to help, but I do have to admit, I did like write in an anonymous letter to like the elders of the secret society and told them about his assault on Professor.
I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not. That's totally you, Eliza.
I didn't want them to think it was me. I mean, I didn't want to get hurt. I didn't want to have them look at me down like, I don't know how these things work, but I just, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And thankfully, I mean,
well, you didn't do anything wrong other than push your way into a ritual in another house or another society and all of that, but you did good after, right?
Yeah. I was trying to help. I mean, there were two people that got knocked down, so if Calvin and I hadn't been there to like help, I mean, I don't know what would have happened. But yeah, we were trying to help. Mm-hmm. I sent a first aid kit to the professor. So.
And yes, Riley does this.
An actual face palm.
Actual face palm.
You do know that there's like hospital nearby and like,
I just
like campus medical services.
I just like that you went on Amazon and shipped a just first aid kit to the professor's like office or something.
Yeah, afterwards. I mean, you could. I understand that there are hospitals and like we have a health center and everything, but you know what? Like, it's always good to have extra Band-Aids and gauze.
Especially with Roberts around.
Yes, especially with Roberts around. Oh my goodness. I don't know what to think of him taking his shirt off in the Shaky Shack. I don't understand.
Honestly, I don't either. Like, that sounds like Calvin doesn't get some of the things that we do in the, I guess, regular world, but like,
he's not randomly taking his clothes off.
No, I've appreciated that about him.
It's like, you know what, Calvin, you do some interesting things, but at least you don't randomly take your clothes off.
Turns into a raccoon every once in a while. It gets fur everywhere, but
Mhm.
at least he doesn't do that.
Always has his clothes on.
Yeah.
He's learned to transform with his clothes intact.
Yes. Yep. Something I should mention. I mean, you remember seeing Lashes, right? Like Lashes as a human.
I can't remember if I actually saw.
You
No,
did
but
actually-
I
After
I?
you left the party,
that's right. Lashes came up,
Lexa-
and then
Lexa saw it was like Lashes, and
Yeah.
I think you, Riley, were like, "What the what?"
Right. Wait. Okay. Yes, I remember. Lashes is a human. That's weird, but I guess nothing should be weird in our lives anymore. I don't know.
Yeah, so apparently Lashes was always a human. And Calvin was in love with her. And then a spell went wrong and Lashes turned into a raccoon. And so now I guess Lashes has figured out a way to go back to human again.
And I thought things were strange and awkward with me. Damn. Damn.
I know. Yeah, so I guess I should just come out because now it feels relevant. I'm polyamorous.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so like when I saw Calvin and Lashes together, there was definitely like this awkward chemistry, but I could tell that there was something sparking there. And I really liked seeing it. And I was really happy for him.
So you like seeing him both nervous and awkward and happy.
And happy, yes. So we had a conversation and, you know, like it took a while for him to finally like admit his feelings. But when he did, I told him I'm totally cool with him dating me and her. And I just hope that we can have a conversation so we can talk about boundaries and, you know, things like that. Communication is like so important with, you know, poly relationships.
Yeah. Y'all don't even know how Lashes feels.
Yeah, I mean, if Lashes doesn't actually have feelings for him, then this whole thing is like totally null and void. I mean, she may not feel this. I mean, she's been a raccoon for I don't know how long. So I don't know how feelings change when a person's been an animal for a while and then suddenly turns back to their regular self.
I don't know either.
But I mean, she was his companion. So she was around
She
him
was
for a
always
while.
there, yeah.
She was always there. So I would think that there'd still be some residual feelings, but yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but, you know, I encourage Calvin to explore and see what's going on. And then at some point we'll all talk about it.
That's really mature of all of you. I hope Calvin's brain doesn't explode.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if I had if my boyfriend was different, I feel like if I was with a different guy and I told him, hey, I'm cool with you dating me and this other girl, that they'd have a different reaction than Calvin did. But I mean, who knows? It's all very complicated. It's very complicated, but you know, I think love should be shared and that's fun. So, yeah.
From what I hear, relationships are very complicated.
They can be complicated all its own. Even when there's more than two. Yeah. Well, it looks like our class is gonna start, so and then
Yeah,
Eliza
you got all
starts.
organized and we didn't even
I
study.
know.
That's not like you. These
Honestly-
relationships are too much for you.
Honestly, you know, it was more of a review of everything. I'm already I'm pretty prepared.
When are you not?
Very, very true. Well, I'm gonna miss seeing you in charm class, but
We got 2 other classes together, I think. So
that is true. And we're in the dorms together, so I'm sure we'll see each other.
of course.
Yeah. And I think we can end it there, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Yeah, so let's jump forward a little bit because I want to get to a few things before we end our stream tonight. And I want to move forward to the evening where everyone's going to gather for their societies then, as you've kind of done your classes for the day, met up with each other, had breakfast, had lunch study break, had some conversations from what's been going on this week, and all those challenges that come up that we don't always expect, just as life in college, right? But we are going to move forward to the societies and kind of checking in there. I want to do not Book and Snakes, Skull and Bones last, actually. So we'll kind of come to that one last, since they're going to have their ritual and everything, and that one's probably going to be a little bit more. But let's we kind of talked a little bit about Scroll and Key, so let's go to Scroll and Key, as we're going to kind of just take a little peek into each of these societies so that we got to see a little bit of manuscript. So this will give us an opportunity to see some of the other societies as well, what they're kind of like and what's going on inside. Basically, there's going to be kind of a similar conversation. We'll get to that going on in the different societies with the groups. But let's start with Scroll and Key. As we kind of step into the doors of Scroll and Key here, we see a number of antique chests of drawers, glass cabinets, all throughout the rooms within Scroll and Key. Of all the tombs, this one feels the most like walking into a museum. Little display cards with notes on them sit next to objects on display, everything in its neat little place. Collections of travels to many different places, some magical and some just to connect to specific places of travel. The air is fresh and clear, no dust mars any surface. Maps of many places can be seen hung along the walls, along with paintings and photos, lots of destinations depicted. The more you look, the more you start to see that some of these paintings aren't of any place on our plane of existence. Drawings of a spectral form lifted from one's body with a small silver tether to find one's way back. Those with the magic touch who might brush a surface will see the protective runes glow in a faint yellow orange glow. The entire top floor of Scroll and Key here is one large room with a seamlessly ending sky of stars reaching out beyond. And that's where we can kind of see everybody has gathered here in this building, on this top floor, in this seemingly endless sky above. And checking my notes here, Professor Feist is the head of the Scroll and Key, has kind of gathered everyone here and in the discussion. And this is the part that's going to kind of be similar. I don't want to like necessarily repeat it over and over again. So kind of take this conversation and we'll apply it to each of the societies. Because this is the first time that everybody's gathered since the events of the party. And there's kind of some discussion of what happened. So Professor Feist, in front of everybody, starts to share. Some of you may or may not have heard of the fallout from manuscript, a rather routine culling ritual went somewhat awry. What this means is we're going to be limited this year in our studies and practice of our rituals. We won't be able to perform as much, and the heads of each society will be kind of deciding on which rituals are appropriate and not at this time. Unfortunately, what that means for many of you is you will not get as much time and practice in the magical arts, as we are concerned about the wellspring running dry this year. Big magic has always been a speciality here at Yale. Many look to us for answers or solutions to many problems that come up throughout our lives in this world, this complicated, connected, global world that we live in today. So we must make sure we meet our needs to those who need it most. We apologize for how this might affect your studies, but the routine studies will go on as scheduled. Have no concern around that. We're also seeking any information that anyone may have on some individuals at that ritual who were not supposed to be there. It's unclear if because of them, that is why things went awry, and we have some questions. So if anybody knows anything, please feel free to let us know. It will be better to get some answers ahead of time than if we have to perform magic to find out who it was. It's only going to make things more, how should I say, complicated. So thank you everybody for coming tonight. We will be having dinner shortly, as usual, here on Thursday nights, and we will continue our studies on astral projection. We will not get to practice tonight, unfortunately, as we have been, but yeah, we'll take you through the general rituals and routines involved. We just won't get to go into the experience, I suppose, at this point.
Dustin,
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Have I already been pulled aside because I announced myself to Professor Zell, my name and who I was?
Probably not yet.
Okay.
But maybe during this, let's say at the end of this, Professor Feist catches your eye and is kind of, thanking everybody for gathering and understanding, and kind of points at you and kind of gives you like one of these.
I'll nod. And two, when I was doing my study with the objects there at night, were any of them glowing?
Within scroll and key here?
Yeah.
Nothing beyond what you would have noticed before. Nothing like new.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone dismisses, and you're there with Professor Feist. Yes, Jelly, I heard you were down there the other night. Professor Zell had informed me. You tried to help, from what I understand.
I did, sir.
That's very good of you. I was glad to hear that. But I do have to ask what you were doing there to begin with.
Well, we found our way to the basement just by wandering around, and as we were there, the spell went awry. I studied the effect and then thought I had ways to help, and approached Professor Zell, and he directed me to where I could be useful.
Yes, you joined in the ritual, from what I understand.
Yes, with a couple of my friends who are also there.
You picked up quite quickly. I was impressed to hear. I heard there was somebody else there who attempted to help, but he was not as skillful as you.
This was close to my area of interest. So I suppose you know about the captain then.
We know very little of him, to be honest.
I followed him through the portal that he escaped in.
Really?
He led me to a room that he claimed was used to erase memories.
He just kind of stares at you for a moment.
And we're alone, so I'm speaking freely,
Yeah.
sir.
No, he doesn't answer, right? As you say that, he's just kind of stoic for a moment.
A room he claimed was used to erase memories. I'm not saying it was or not.
Yeah.
And he said that it happened to him sometime past. It was unclear how long, and he had regained them, and he left me there in the room. I only managed to escape because an object I had absorbed some of the magic. So I wonder if some of the objects here have absorbed magic.
Interesting. There is a room on campus here where we've studied it for quite some time, and we don't quite understand why no magic works there.
That was the room, at least a room I was in, where magic did not work. My own magic did not work.
But I don't know this memory erasure that you speak of.
The students speak of it as a rumor.
Actually, let me go back on that for a second, because I think you were told in History of Magic that they did have a way to erase your memories.
I think it is a thing.
Or remove. So let me go back for a second, actually.
Right, because Calvin was afraid when we heard about that.
Right. Yes, well, it is a unfortunate ritual. We don't like to use it, but every so often we get somebody who's zealous, careless with magic here, and
Well, it sounds like this man who called himself the captain fits that description.
we'll have to do some research on who that might be, I suppose. I appreciate the information very much.
Was he wearing the necklace? Was the captain wearing it?
Yeah, the captain had the necklace.
Solomon's necklace?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he is in possession of Solomon's necklace.
Very interesting.
And
We
the
have not
falcon.
seen that for, well, it's been lost for quite some time.
It seemed like he might be older than he appeared.
Yeah. Okay. Do you know anything about the assault on Professor Zell?
I was gone by then. I was not there. I was stuck in that room.
Okay. Yeah, very unfortunate. Professor Zell doesn't remember much about it.
That's Menachem laughing.
Doesn't remember much about it, and we're trying to, I mean, if a student did assault a professor, that is not acceptable.
Understandable. It was a traumatic evening for many involved.
Yeah. Nothing like this has happened since I can remember being here, and it's going to change the way that we do magic this year, I suppose. Did this captain give you any idea of what their motivations were?
Revenge.
Always a good one. Did he say that?
Dustin, if I remember, he was basically said they took my memories away, and I'm kind of pissed at them about that, right? He didn't say I'll make them pay directly, but he kind of hinted at it.
More so what he hinted at was, I'm trying to remember the exact conversation in my head. More so what he hinted at is he doesn't like the way that they get the final say in magic. So
It's kind of revenge, yeah. He,
that they took his memories because he didn't think the way that they did.
he finds the system flawed.
And he warned you about,
I know,
using that also, yourself.
don't trust anybody.
Yeah.
He finds the system flawed, and that people who think differently are at high risk of being punished for that different thinking.
Professor Feist sticks a arm on your shoulder. I'm very glad to hear that you feel you could trust us with this information. I'd hate for anything to have to happen to you, since we're kind of counting on you and your research, Jelly.
I understand.
Come,
Please don't threaten me.
There wasn't a threat. I'm sorry it came out that way. We're just glad to have you here. It's been hard times for us.
I am grateful for all you're doing for me and with me.
Anyway, let's eat, shall we?
Yes.
Have you eaten today? You look tired.
I had some breakfast. Maybe we met for breakfast. We go eat. On to the next house. How about
yes. So we move over to we got to see the inside of Book and Snake a little bit with their library and all of that. Many jars and jars of herbs and tinctures all over the place. I think I described that one a little bit. So we're gonna skip that as far as our time today. But you get the same conversation. Everyone's drawn together before dinner, and the same conversation is had about the concerns and if there's any information that anybody
has. And Riley
has.
would say nothing.
Okay. Next, we go over to Wolf's Head.
Wolf's Head!
Wolf's Head?
All right. I didn't know we had chants for all the societies now.
Apparently,
also.
Wolf's Head are the jocks.
Apparently.
So Wolf's Head's a little bit different for some of the societies, kind of, because there's this little courtyard. There's like a wall outside. There's a little bit of courtyard, and then the building is back behind that a little bit. But when you walk in through the main doors into the main hall of Wolf's Head, it's unclear what comes to you first as you walk into this tomb: the smell of old sweat or the general disorganization of things.
So it's a locker room.
It seems everything has a place, but compared to the other secret societies tombs, all the things used here are consistently in some sort of motion or flux. Things are moved, knocked over, and put back as best as possible on a regular basis. Illustrations of animals, shapes, and forms can be found framed on the walls all throughout the halls, and paintings of great figures in half beast, half animal forms anoint the great hall of Wolf's Head. As you look at all the frames and begin to look closer, all the cabinets, doorways have a thin silver stringing adorning all of the elements. If you are fortunate enough to visit the courtyard in the middle of Wolf's Head, it's like walking through into another place. Lush plants, earthy smell can be found here, even in the dead of New England winter. A large dome covers the outdoor space, and moonlight trickles through just so. In the center of this space, a large transmutation circle is drawn with geometric patterns and runes on the outsides of the 20-foot circumference of this. And Wolf's Head has a large main banquet table with one person sitting on the end. And sitting at the end of this, as everybody's gathered here, is oh, actually, I'm going to change that. I didn't realize in my notes I mixed something up. Professor Odessa. Professor Odessa gives you the same kind of speech about the concerns around the wellspring and asks if anybody has any information of what happened that evening, if they would like to. It would be better if they came forward now than had to be found later, so to speak.
I have questions.
Yes.
Will we be reprimanded for having magical artifacts that may have to do with what happened the other night?
There were many magical artifacts, yes. I mean, anything in particular? I mean, we have a few of our own.
This thing keeps glowing. It confuses me.
Oh, yes, we did hear that we had to spend a bit of time after the party, kind of some magic went astray. Some things happened. It's been a long few days for us. We've had to kind of make sure that those non-magical people in the area, yeah, we have heard that there's been
bothersome.
We've heard that there's been some magical item, or some items have become infused with magic after that. Yes, you were at the party, I'm assuming then?
I just look over at Eliza. Yes.
Yeah, it seems that some of the stray magic has become infused with old antiques and heirlooms that people may have had with them.
And what can I do with it?
would you like to give it to us for observation? Then, then I don't understand what your question is.
I just look over to
Oh,
Eliza.
God.
I think, Calvin, I think it has magic. Like it, we can figure it out. Like I'm sure we can figure it out.
Eliza, do you have anything you want to add to this?
Yes. I do want to say that I was at the party. It seemed like something had gone wrong there, and I was doing my best to try to help people and protect people.
Okay.
I didn't harm anyone.
But my boyfriend roofied someone.
Yeah, I didn't. I was just there trying to help out.
Did you see what had happened to Professor Zell by any chance? We're quite concerned. He doesn't really remember much. What happened shortly before he became unconscious, was knocked unconscious. We
Sounds like a good party. Is class over?
I heard that, yeah, that he had been hurt. Like there was something that happened there. I sent him a first aid kit. I hope he's okay. Is he doing all right?
So you were there, but you didn't see anything.
Well,
happened to him?
Everybody was in costumes, so it's kind of hard to say. I mean, I'm pretty sure that somebody punched him, but they were in costumes, so I don't know who it was.
It was a pirate.
Oh yeah, it was. I mean, pirates are pretty bad, so.
Let's continue this afterwards, please. It looks like dinner is ready. I don't want to interrupt everybody's meal, but yes, if the two of you would like to come see me afterwards, I will be.
It's like shaking his head. Yeah, we can talk. I don't know how helpful we'll be, but yeah, we will do our best.
Well, every bit
I
helps
definitely,
us
yeah, I
understand.
definitely, out of character, I definitely want to use my skill of innocence.
What does that do? Remind me what that does.
So it says once per session, I may spend 2 adversity tokens to convince an adult to not get me in trouble for a minor transgression. So I don't know if this is considered I'm assuming the assault is not a minor transgression, but I don't know if going down into the basement is a minor transgression. That's the one that I don't know.
Are you going to spend the 2 adversity tokens?
I will spend it if you allow. Yes, I have 3, so I will spend 2. Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
So we'll say that with that ability, you managed to at least convince the professor that, for whatever reason, why you went down into the basement.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you saw this pirate punch somebody, but other than that, you did everything you could to help, and he believes you as you spend that.
Okay. Whew. It's good to be innocent.
Well, the other people believe you to be innocent. Let's move over to Skull and Bones as well, so that we can kind of work on wrapping that up.
Got my little halo.
Skull and Bones being perhaps the oldest of the tombs, and one of the most well-known by non-magical users as well. As you walk in through the doors of Skull and Bones, It's basically everything you think it would be, and even a bit more. The smell of wax hangs in the air, as it seems almost every shelf and open space is taken up with a display of skulls, seeming to be of human nature, and cylindrical candles, long, tall, short, burnt down, and everywhere in between. Fine adornments of jewelry can be seen on those who grace the halls, and divination tools such as tarot cards and chiromancy charts are dotted on the walls and in the open spaces. A library holds all kinds of books and tomes, leather chairs, and circular tables next to them. More divination tools can be seen here anywhere you look. A crystal ball, ceremonial bowl that looks to be made of gold, many different cloths used for preparation of rituals, and small saucer-like bowls with dried tea leaves that seem to be waiting for a second opinion. Many fortunes are made and kept in the halls of this building. Lexa, you have been gathered for the ritual that is being prepared in this space. What does everyone's like ritual attire look like, as I'm concerned about describing that again?
It's definitely not white.
But what do you like as
I mean, it's probably, they're probably wearing like black robes with like gold trim, because I feel like everyone there is pretentious.
Yeah, for some reason I feel like gold has to be a part of the color scheme.
Yeah, so
I've been watching Hawkeye lately, so I've got like the Ronin suit kind of in
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Maybe not the mask, but like
Yeah.
that big hood
yeah,
and like the gold right
Yeah.
around the top of the hood and down around
Yeah.
on all the robes and everything.
Something like that, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so everyone's been gathered. You all been given different tasks basically for this ritual. You being a freshman, you're basically in charge of gathering some of the materials that are going to be used in this. This ritual is going to be a divination using smoke. I'm going to say the name of it. I don't know if I'm going to get it, if I'm going to pronounce it correctly. Capnomancy is the term. Capnomancy.
Okay.
Capnomancy is divination using smoke. So this is a ritual you haven't seen yet, but you are in charge of, along with the other freshmen of Skull and Bones, of helping gather and bring over the pieces of oak, mistletoe, branches, and cedar that are used in this to create the smoke for the ritual. And everyone's kind of gathered in a circle, and there is this runic circle in the middle that has been prepared. And so you're bringing the pieces over. The next class, the sophomores, are kind of assembling everything. And then the juniors or freshmen are gathered around outside of this, who are going to be helping with the chanting and the ritual itself, basically. And let me see, who do I have down here for Book and Sneak? Or sorry, not Book and Sneak.
There's too
Skull and
many something and somethings.
That's
with
the problem.
S's
Yeah, it's
and
all
B's.
something and something. All right. I didn't actually write one down for Skull and Bones, so we'll do, you know what? This one I think is better. Professor Belafonte. So each society has a professor that's kind of the head of that society. It's a really weird thing, actually, when you think about it, and you could see this as this preparation. There's Professor Belafonte, but then it's like all college kids, right? They're
Mhm.
kind of the only one here, and we saw the same thing with the manuscript ritual. We had Professor Zell there, and then it was like the upperclassmen who were doing the ritual and everything. Like, you would figure with all this magic there would be more oversight, kind of, but there isn't quite, and you're not sure why that is exactly. But Professor Belafonte is helping prepare everything, and there's a special guest who, at this point, you've been alerted that there's going to be a special guest coming in to this, and another hooded figure joins as the ritual is being prepared. And so the professor, the individual, looks over to you as they're walking up. You help gather some of the materials, Lexa, and as you're handing this off, that the second individual kind of looks, and you catch underneath the cloak for a moment that it is in fact your father.
Cool.
And he kind of just gives you a nod, but is in the middle of preparing this ritual. And as things get started, the chanting begins, and the material that's been prepared is lit.
I feel like we should be chanting right now.
Yeah, I don't know how the chants go, and I don't want to there's many different chanting rituals that are used, and I don't want to kind of co-opt or whitewash any of them in any ways here. So yeah, I'll allow you to whatever sort of tradition that anyone viewing this may know for chants or make sense to them to use in this. But again, as we do this big magic, right? This is the thing that is going to require magic from the wellspring, that to do something bigger to this divination requires more people working together and doing it. And so the smoke starts to rise from this. Big, large plumes of smoke start to come out from this. And this Professor Belafonte and your father, is what you know to now be your father as well, Lexa, they're observing, they're moving their hands. You don't know if they're moving the smoke or studying the ritual of what's happening, how this works. You see some concern on their face initially as these large plumes come up from the oak, mistletoe, and cedar branches. And as this kind of swells in the air, things start to move and shapes start to form. Now, it's almost like looking at the clouds and trying to be like, oh, hey, does that look like, one person may see something and somebody may see something else. But different shapes start to form out of this. We see a ship, not unlike the pirate ship that you saw in your dream, Lexa.
Great.
Form near this island with trees on it. Things kind of move around and shift a bit more. And we see a tower come out of this. And while you as the players may not recognize this, this is a very recognizable tower on campus here called Harkness Tower. One of the main pieces that you would see on campus as you're walking across. And as this tower forms, it seems to go up and up, and then it crumbles and falls over. And as that happens, the images kind of fade a bit, and the smoke kind of settles down towards the ground, touching the ground and kind of surrounding everything, and just kind of lingers there as the ritual seems to end, as nothing else is shown. So we'll kind of exit this kind of ritual space as everybody's then going to head over to the main like hall for dinner as well. You see your father sitting next to Professor Belafonte, and everybody else is kind of gathered around this large circular table with a skull in the center with two kind of crossbones next to it. You know, classic Skull and Bones, like there's always skulls adorning everything.
Well, I'm going to avoid my father.
Okay. Which is pretty easy to do here.
Yep.
Because he's involved talking with the professor. There's discussions on the ritual that was just had and everything, the divination. You managed to catch some conversation at some point that there's concerns that they must act quickly to figure out what's going on. And that there'll be discussions with the heads of all of the societies to decide what the next steps will be.
Okay. Can we have our phones out in these secret societies?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like it's dinner, right? I mean, not like maybe during the ritual you weren't allowed to have anything because there can be no distractions. But yeah, now that everyone's sitting down for dinner.
Okay. I'm going to send a text in our group chat saying we need to break into Harkness Tower. You're muted, Tim.
Who's in the group chat?
It's all of us.
Okay.
Eliza's going to put bugged eye emoji.
Riley's like, wait, what?
Shock emoji.
I reply, cutting Eliza out of the conversation. Say more.
I reply with an ear emoji.
There was the smoke showed it crumbling. There's something we have to investigate, the tower. Whether it's I don't know whether we break in or not, we have to get inside that tower.
Right. Meet me there in 20 minutes.
Okay.
You can stop them, but
also respond after. Okay, and what about the smoke?
I'll explain later. Also, my dad's here. ...
And like as you type that and you put your phone down, you realize that your dad is standing next to you. And he just is like, I'm imagining your dad's very cryptic at times for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe I'm just making this up in my head.
That would, yeah.
But he hands you just a blank card, but and he kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and then walks away.
Mhm.
As he's leaving, basically, you see he has his coat and everything on. And you flip over the blank card, and there's just like, what do you call it? Like latitude and longitude
Oh, coordinates?
coordinates. Yeah, there's coordinates on it,
Okay.
and a date and time for Saturday.
Oh. That's not, well, that's terrifying.
And we'll end it there for the night. How about?
Yeah.
Well then, I was thinking maybe one question to close out the evening.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good with me.
All right, and I think we'll go with the most standard one. What did you appreciate about your play, or someone else's, and someone else's?
Do we do we just want to go in the order that we
Sure.
did the check
So
in?
Tim.
So for me, I appreciated for myself that I was able to just be Calvin from being away for 2 weeks. I appreciated Dustin's play today for the description of the houses, so I can now understand what these houses are and what they look like. Yeah, and I'll pass it over to Neil. Or are we going in order?
We were going in the same
Yeah.
order, so Menachem would be next, I
Yeah,
think.
go ahead.
I love the line I had that came out of nowhere. Don't threaten me. Like, that felt so much like what I would say, what Jelly Tristan would say in that time. And I really loved watching Calvin and Eliza squirm during that questioning period, and watching them role play that out. That was a blast.
Yes, I'm next. I really liked the scene with Jelly and Calvin and Lexa. It's good to see the three of them be the three of them. And I think it would have been okay if Eliza and I showed up at the end, but I think it was good to keep it just the three of them. And I appreciated all the banter. It's wonderful. Lexa is so good with Calvin and Jelly, but also like exasperated by them. It's great.
I just have to say, and I feel like I brought Gaze of Our Lives into this stream when Eliza came out as Polly.
I think we started to do that last week, actually.
Yeah.
Well, when you play a game with a bunch of queer people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna happen. So but I really appreciated Riley's response when Eliza came out. So I don't know, it's just very, very special to me. And I liked what I appreciated about my own play was being able to use my innocence once again. All right. Yeah, I'll pass it on to Kayla.
I enjoyed Calvin, so it was nice to have that dynamic back. So it's always entertaining when Lexa and Calvin interact. So
Lexa and Calvin haven't had a lot of time to hang out.
Right. Yeah, so hopefully I wasn't completely muted for that whole thing. If not, Calvin just talked to himself and Jelly.
That'd be pretty on point for Calvin.
Yeah, so. Right. Whatever. It happens. It was just Calvin getting updated on what happened anyway. So yeah. Also, Dustin, I knew he was gonna show up.
To be honest, I didn't think about. I had like a few other ideas, but then when you said it, it's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna
Well,
take
now
that.
I gotta do it.
Yeah. Oh, like,
Careful what you say in front of the DM sometimes,
yeah,
right?
careful, Calvin.
Yeah, no, I definitely planned that the whole time.
It's your turn.
I had some ideas around that, so it just gave me an opportunity. Well, I like the idea of throwing that in there, like the kind of legacy aspect of it, also, right? That the connectedness of like the school and the magic and everything as well. So I really appreciated letting everybody else get a chance to kind of decide a little bit. I had a few scenes that I wanted to do, but yeah, I really like with this game. I feel like we've paired up some characters in different ways. This is the first time we've seen like Lexa, Jelly, and Calvin kind of together, but I've enjoyed seeing characters get paired up and the dynamics that happen between them in different ways, which we've been kind of exploring so far. So yeah, I really appreciate everyone's play around that. And that's been fun to watch for sure. So I realized also we didn't roll any dice tonight at all. It's like
that is true.
No,
I feel like we'll
didn't.
have some sessions where we roll a bunch of dice, and then we have some sessions where we don't at all. We just do the role play thing. So
It was a lot of good role playing.
Yeah.
We did
Yeah.
use a mechanic, and that was
One-
Eliza
Yes.
got to
One
do that.
mechanic.
Well, and
Yeah,
that's
you got
that's
to use my innocence.
Yeah. That's partially what I really like about the Kids on Brooms and Kids on Bikes system, is that if that's what you want to do, you could just do that the whole time, right? You don't necessarily, the rules are there and the mechanics are there to help assist you. It doesn't usually get in the way, I feel like, of the role play, which is something that I really like about these systems. But we do need to, as I'm thinking about, maybe give out some adversity tokens for other people's play and playing into their characters well and playing into their fears as well. And then take a look at our class schedules if there's anything that we can give out any marks for, to kind of wrap up our play and then before we check out tonight. So,
All right.
so yeah, so let's start with if anybody wants to give anyone an adversity token for their character's play. They thought they really played into their fears or anything really well.
I'm going to do the same thing. Calvin and Eliza getting grilled, and Eliza, I could almost smell her sweat. So,
It was pretty awkward.
And the
Yeah,
sending the first aid kit.
well, and Calvin asking the question in the dumbest time, and still wanting to do something with the magic.
Yeah. Yeah, you threw me off a little bit on that, Tim, with just like, what can I do with this? And it's like, what are you talking about?
We can
What do you-
take that from you.
Yeah, we can take a look at it if you want us to. Perhaps you made yourself a little more well known than you meant to also, right? It's that weird thing that Calvin does for sure. So yeah, the both of you marked down some adversity tokens. Yeah, and Tennille, I really like the way you played Eliza there, of trying to talk her way out of any potential problems. And on that also, I'm going to give one to Jelly then, for that discussion with the professor, and kind of working their way through that as well, of trying to explain what happened. I like the way that you played that. It was fun to role play in that situation.
Thank you. I felt like I was trying to walk a fine line of information and mistrust.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't like the captain, so
Right.
You and me both.
That's been part of it, is for me to just give you a bunch of characters that you don't know who to trust at all, and see how, what plays out with it.
Yeah.
So anyone else want to give out any adversity tokens, any suggestions for play or playing into the fears?
Well, I mean, I know that, we didn't really like highlight it as much, but Riley did change from charm magic to I guess, to fit the secret society more. And I don't know if there's any worry about how her parents will see that change or if that's a big deal.
I don't think they know
much.
anything about what I do.
It's probably true.
Well,
yeah.
your parents are not magical, correct?
Right. So they don't know anything except like they just want me to do well in school. That kind of thing. So
You got into Yale.
Yeah.
right. Yeah. But yeah.
I think your fears like being stupid in front of a class. I don't know.
In front of peers.
In front of peers.
There was
so-
that whole like, do you think
Yeah.
Lexa's gonna think I'm stalking her?
That is true. But it sounds like you're gonna go through with it anyway. Despite the fear.
I think Lexa should get one for still trying to stay outside of the family, right? Trying to make their own path without the family. Saying like pretty much like avoiding their father while their father just shows up at a situation.
Facing adversity of the father.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
I mean, I probably don't. I'm thinking I don't like him much because he was one of the ones you guys think was plotting against me.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't
He's
think Calvin likes
like at the head of like all of it.
Yeah.
I feel like Riley would, after that group text where it's like, oh, and my dad's here, like separate text just to Lexa, you okay?
Like he's so terrifying. Lexa literally would not let Riley anywhere near him. That's how terrifying he is. And prejudiced.
Yeah,
also,
I've been
I have 7 adversity tokens.
So do I.
Me too.
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
I feel like a
Cannot
few
wait.
people had
I have
spent them.
6.
I haven't
And then-
spent some in a while.
I think I've
I
only made
spent
1 or
2.
2 dice rolls,
Yes.
and I that was the flying.
I spent a
stuff.
bunch at the first ritual.
I did a lot of
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
did a lot of failing at one point too. So.
Every time I look innocent, it costs me 2.
All right, and then if everyone
I
has
keep
their
hanging out with this group, I'm gonna keep losing my tokens.
yes, because we're breaking in.
Yeah.
if anybody has their class schedule also, I don't know how much we did as far as like using any magic in our game this time. I mean, it was kind of based on some classes and stuff that everyone had, and then getting into our societies. Lexa, what do you have? You have occult studies or something?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you were involved in part of a ritual.
Yes, that's true.
So that might apply towards occult studies.
Okay.
You can make the case for that. Does anybody want to make a case for any of their other classes or?
I don't think I
don't think I can.
I don't think I could either.
I maybe came close discussing the portals and the magic that the captain used, but maybe not close enough.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's just that one for Lexa then today. I mean, this was kind of like a magic light, a little more storytelling game today. So
Yeah. We don't get a mark for our secret society.
Remind me what's on your class schedule?
Well, I mean, today we just did Thursday, so
yeah,
I have chemistry in the morning, charm magic class in the afternoon, and then Wolf's Head at night.
But on the bottom, there's like the 2 or 3, like everybody
list.
has history of magic, and then there's like 2 other
more.
classes, right?
Which I think you had so magical defense and healing and charms was what you have, right? Yeah.
Yes. But magical defense and healing, those are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, not Thursday. But
the way for the class schedule that I've been playing it is that if you do anything in the course of play for those things
That
then
relates
you
to the
would-
class.
that relates to those classes, then you would take the
Right.
marks in them. So like
We did
y'all have
not
been
study for charms. We just talked.
So my question, how does Eliza's innocence work? Is that like a magical feature, or is it just she appears innocent?
I think that's part of the
that's
teacher's
just like
pet.
her vibe is that she's innocent.
I think it's
Mhm.
part of the teacher's
Okay.
pet playbook is
Yeah, that makes
you
sense.
get
Yeah.
that skill.
Yes, it's my
as it-
strength.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's my strength. I have a way of talking to professors, and that
Gotcha.
I show my,
Okay.
part also like my kiss-assery is a part of that too.
Sure. Yeah. No, I just had a question of like how
Yeah.
how much is that rooted in like charm magic?
Charm magic. That is interesting.
I don't know. That might be
Well-
something to have a conversation like later. I don't know. So
Yeah.
that's just what I was thinking about that.
Hmm.
Of like, is she innocent, or is she like channeling like charm?
Charm magic.
Anyways.
That would be incredible. We've
Something to
never
think
used
about.
it. Yeah, we've never used it as like a magical thing, but
I just had that
Mhm.
thought. If
But
that was
that
like
would- yeah, that would be interesting if there
Yeah.
was a bit of that maybe she's not completely aware of. Yeah.
anyways, yeah.
All right, cool.
Well, I
So
think
now-
that does that. Yes.
Yeah.
Menachem.
So now to step out of the magic circle, somewhat back into our real lives, where it's hard to schedule a game.
Except on Friday nights here on
Except on
Twitch.
Friday
Right.
nights, yeah.
We are consistent,
Yep.
except for when we announce we're taking a break. So we do the name game in reverse. Say your character name, and we say sayonara to your character, and then say your player name, and we wish each other good night, pleasant dreams, whatever comes to mind. And let's go again, starting with Tim.
Good night. I'm Calvin.
Good night, Calvin.
Good night, Calvin.
Good night,
Calvin.
boyfriend Calvin.
And I'm Tim. Good
Hey,
night.
Tim.
Good night,
Good night,
Tim.
Tim.
I have played the Jalanthar Tristan Gallant, TJ T Gallant.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Jelly.
Night.
Good night,
I'm just stick
Tristan.
with jelly. Yeah.
And just I like to mix it up. And I am Menachem.
Good night.
Happy
Menachem.
Hanukkah.
Good night,
Menachem.
Menachem.
Happy
Happy
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
I've been Riley tonight.
Good night, Ryan.
Good night,
Good
Riley.
night,
Riley.
Bessie.
I'm Laura.
Good night, Laura.
Good
Good
night,
night.
Good
Laura.
night, Laura.
And enjoy the Hanukkah that you celebrate in your house too.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yes,
Happy
enjoy
Hanukkah.
it. Enjoy it. I have been Eliza Goldenflower.
Good night, Eliza.
Good
night.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Eliza.
Good night,
Eliza.
Eliza.
the golden flower.
And I'm Tennille. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Tennille.
night,
Night,
Tennille.
Dreams,
Tennille.
Neil.
I've been Lexa.
Good night,
night,
Lexa.
Lexa.
I hope you have some good dreams tonight, Lexa.
It's like,
Sweet dreams.
yeah, I have been having, fever dreams and medication-induced dreams. So who knows?
Channeling Lexa all the
There's no
time.
bleed.
It's just,
So much
Hey.
bleed.
And I'm Kayla, and I'm gonna go to sleep.
Pleasant
Sweet
dreams.
dreams.
Rest,
Some
Kayla.
rest.
Kayla.
And I am your game master this evening,
Good night,
Good
Game
night,
Master.
Good night,
Game
Game
Master.
Good night,
Good
Game
night, Game
Master.
Master.
and I am Dustin.
Good night,
Good night,
Dustin.
Dustin.
Good night, Dustin.
All right. And good night, everybody joining us here tonight. Thank you so much for coming along as we
Good night.
continue
good
our
night.
Yalecapades here with our games of Kids on Brooms.
See you next week.
We'll
See
see
you
you
next
everybody
week.
next week. Yes. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thanks
Good
for
night.
watching. Good night.